She stood there, arms crossed, voice sharp as glass, saying words I'll never forget. The privilege is over, she declared. From now on, we'll have separate budgets. Her tone was rehearsed, corporate, like she was firing an employee, not speaking to her husband. I didn't argue. I just smiled, nodded, and said, of course. She took it as surrender. I knew it was the beginning. We'd met years ago in a boardroom neither of us belonged in. Two interns pretending to be indispensable. She was brilliant, fierce, and dangerous. I loved that about her. I helped her climb, introduced her to people who could make her CEO. And when she got there, she forgot who built the staircase. The shift began small. Calls. She'd taken another room. Trips that suddenly couldn't include spouses. Passwords that changed. Love had turned into protocol. I became her accessory. Polished, silent, and out of budget. The first real crack appeared one night when I came home early from a client meeting. She was in the living room whispering into her phone, laughing softly in a way she hadn't in months. Yes, next weekend, she said. When she noticed me, her face reset. Professional again. Cold. You're home early. That's when I knew. Not suspected, knew. But I didn't confront her. I just memorized every detail. She thought money gave her power. That cutting me off financially would humble me. What she didn't realize was that I'd been the architect of her empire's foundation, her finances, her silent partner, the name that appeared on every property deed, every joint account. When she said separate budgets, she had no idea I'd already begun separating her assets. It started quietly. A few transfers, legitimate, invisible, a signature here, a code there. Then came the documents, updates to ownership, redirections of dividends, and subtle revisions that made me majority shareholder in the very company she thought she controlled. I didn't need her money. I needed her realization. Sunday lunches were her ritual. Every week, her family arrived. Perfect timing, perfect smiles, perfect lies. Her mother always went straight to the kitchen, criticizing the spices, the setup, the marriage. She adored power. And my wife was her reflection. That Sunday, I was calm. The table was set immaculately. The food prepared by catering, paid with her personal budget, looked exquisite. My wife was radiant, smug, unaware that the entire company she flaunted was about to slip through her manicured fingers. They all sat down, praising her success. My mother-in-law, between mouthfuls of imported roast, asked, "So, how's the company doing, darling?" The paper said, "There's been a merger." "Yes," my wife said proudly. "Everything's under my control." That was when I placed the folder on the table. Simple, black, unmarked. "Actually," I said softly, "that's what I wanted to talk about." She frowned, irritated by the interruption. "What is this?" "Ownership transfer. Documents." I said, "Your company, technically our company, has a new majority shareholder." Her hand froze mid-air. Her mother leaned forward, confused. "What do you mean?" My wife's voice was thin. "You're joking." I met her eyes. "You should read before signing things, love, especially the revisions you authorized 3 months ago." It hit her. Then, the memory of me managing her legal filings. The quiet trust she'd long stopped questioning. The color drained from her face. Her mother snatched the folder and began reading. The scream that followed shattered the afternoon. It was primal, sharp, echoing. Beyond the walls. Neighbors later said. They thought someone had died. In a way. Someone had. She ran to her study. Searching through files, calling her lawyer, her accountant. But every number led to me. Every document bore my subtle initials. Even the penthouse lease, the one she bragged about owning, was in my name. She'd cut off my privilege, and I'd cut out her illusion. I stood at the doorway as she realized it all. How could you? She whispered. How? I repeated carefully. She tried to compose herself. You'll ruin everything. No, I said. I just returned the favor. You wanted separate lives. Now you have one. Yours alone. Without me. Without the empire we built. She collapsed into the chair, trembling, not from poverty, but from exposure. Her mother's eyes darted. Between us, horror dawning as the truth settled in. That was my moment of peace. Not triumph, just quiet justice. The next day, headlines ran. CEO steps down. Amid ownership dispute. She told the press it was a restructuring. I told no one anything. Silence was the final power she couldn't take. Now when people ask about her, I say she's doing fine. She is just not where she imagined. The new CEO is competent, respectful, and transparent. The company thrives under actual leadership. And as for me, my budget remains separate, exactly as she wanted. But sometimes when I pass by our old house, I still hear that scream. Echoing through my mind, the sound of realization. That's the thing about privilege. It isn't given. It's borrowed. And the moment you forget who signed the loan, you lose everything.